If you're a fan of pomp and circumstance, we present one of the top rivalries in the state, regardless of conference, regardless of class. We come to you from Providence Academy in Plymouth for a new chapter in one of the hottest rivalries over the last few years. The Providence Academy Lions and the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks. Throw the records, throw the rankings out the window. This matchup needs no build-up, no superfluous adjectives. Greetings, everyone. I'm Mike Pete, and here I am all by myself, talking to myself. That's chaos theory, and even though I just said this is a matchup that needs no build-up, we'll do our best to set the scene anyway. Providence Academy, just a couple of losses this year against teams they don't have to worry about in state, including Bishop Garrigan. That was in the first weekend of the season. But the Lions have looked rock solid over the last several games, including a huge win, and I mean huge, over Mountain Iron Buell. They won that one in a runaway once they got fouling and defense sorted out up in Duluth. Since our last visit last week, not much has changed. It's still a two-player show in terms of the stat line, but this Providence Academy team is deep. Let's start at the top with Maddyn Greenway. Right now, she holds first place in the state scoring race, 30 points per game, 6 30-point games, and she is lighting it up just about every match she faces. She can do it all. The combination of speed, quickness, and cunning has led to a lot of highlights already in her third season on varsity. I wouldn't be surprised if Maddyn goes off for another big game today. Alongside, she has Grace Counts, who has 4 straight double-doubles. Grace Counts averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds a game, or about that mark. You have Hope Counts, who provides the strong interior presence. And you also have reliable role players like Emma Millerburn, Brooke Honecker, and Ari Peterson. We told you a similar story last week, but you put all that together, you've got a team that could very well defend their title in Class 2A. The team that finished third last year, the Minnehaha Academy Redhawks, they're a bit shorthanded. Angel Hill working her way back from injury. She won't be available until February. Amina Allen, she's got the flu. She's out tonight. Barrett Parton tweaked her ankle recently. She's out. So a lot of role players missing for the Redhawks. That's going to put more of an impetus on their two-woman tandem of Addi Mack and Ava Cupido. Addi, in her last game against Apple Valley, reached the 2,000-point milestone and did so in 91 games. Something tells me she won't be the only one to join the 2,000-point club in less than 100 games. Addi has 5 30-point games to her credit, 4th in the state in scoring, and is one of the most dynamic scorers regardless of class. The sophomore continues to put up big numbers, and Minnehaha will need her to do that again if they want to get an upset over the number 1 team in 2A. Ava Cupido has come along strong as well in her 8th grade season. She's averaging about 11 points per game. And you also have a strong defensive anchor in Anaya Rubin among the role players. But if you were to ask me, between the two teams, I think there's more pressure on Minnehaha, more uncertainties because of the roster changes they have to make for tonight's game. We mentioned Anaya Rubin, Sine Hill, probably another player who's going to see a little more time, and a few others who normally wouldn't see the floor as frequently will be given a tough task in the first of potentially 3 meetings. The two teams meet up again February 17th. I wouldn't be surprised if we pay a visit to Minnehaha around that time. But right now, we're going to take a break so we can introduce the starting lineups and get the festivities underway for this game. You're watching high school girls basketball. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to Providence Academy in Plymouth for one of the biggest rivalries in the state. These are a pair of 2A schools, but anytime these two meet, it draws a crowd and it draws plenty of atmospheric high notes. As the starters get introduced, Minnehaha, they've won 6 of their last 7 games. They dropped a close one to Goodhue, and they fell to 6th in the most recent 2A poll as a result. They were ranked 2nd before that point. The Lions have won 8 straight, including that 87-53 runaway over Mountain Iron Buell. We'll be seeing them on Monday, if you follow the TSB Television YouTube channel, as the Lions host a morning matinee with St. Croix Lutheran at St. Catherine University, part of the MLK Classic. And the rematch with Minnehaha, February 17th. We certainly hope to be there. As we said, this is a matchup of duos. When you look at scoring, Addi Mack averaging 27 points per game. Ava Cupido, 11.5. Amina Allen, her absence notable here. She averages 11.2. Sine Hill averaging 8.5, so she could have more onus offensively. Isa Griefenhagen, another one getting the start tonight, doesn't score a lot. She might be called upon as well. And we'll talk about Providence in a moment. Here are the starters for the Redhawks. It's Ava Cupido, the 8th grader. Addi Mack, the sophomore. Isa Griefenhagen, another 8th grader. Sine Hill, the freshman. And Anaya Rubin, the senior. Providence will start Brooke Honecker, the junior. Emma Millerburn, the 8th grader. Hope Counts, the sophomore. Maddyn Greenway, the freshman. And Grace Counts, the senior. Grace has a college selected, but because she has not, if I can get it out cleanly, she has not officially announced it yet, so we will respect her wish to do so, her desire to make that big announcement that every basketball and athlete of any creed looks forward to. I know where she's going, but you'll have to wait for her social media announcement to find out where. Because it's their moment, and right now she hopes to make a few more moments and memories as we get underway. Minnehaha wins the tip. Bounce pass, Addi Mack didn't get there quickly enough. Here's someone who can get down the court quickly. It's Maddyn Greenway. She pulled off that move multiple times in the win over Becker last Thursday. And if you give her an odd woman rush in transition, that is a dangerous proposition for opponents. Here's Anaya Rubin. I covered Minnehaha's win over Lakeville South, and she did knock down a couple of threes. Not known as a scorer, but might be one of those players that has to step up with Allen unavailable. Addi Mack cut off. Maddyn Greenway tries to speed down court again. This time, the Redhawks get the stop. Providence ball. 17:05 to go. It's early. And what could be the first of 3 meetings. We said that last year. Fergus Falls spoiled that all-IMAC showdown. But there's no spoiling Maddyn Greenway's game. And Fergus Falls, let's not forget, they pushed Providence to the brink, as did Albany in that 2A state tournament. Even though prognosticators like myself, Eric Bugard, and Grant McGinnis all tagged Providence and Minnehaha as a potential final, there are some other teams. St. Croix Lutheran, they've got sharpshooters. They could play spoiler in the section. For 2A, that is. Minnehaha, though, having some trouble with ball control. They cough it up again. Hope Counts brings it up, the youngest of the Count sisters. Her drive is no good. But she gets her own rebound. It went off of Sine Hill. And Hope Counts draws the foul, she'll shoot 2. Hope counts 1 of 7. Her nickname is Short. Bit ironic, isn't it? Her interests include the outdoors and why aren't you following my Instagram? Those are her words, not mine. Her Instagram handle, by the way, is Hope_counts. I follow it, but I have reasons. Being a broadcaster, Ava Cupido used up the dribble. Lions have a 7-0 lead early. And more confusion on the part of the Redhawks. Addi Mack having a tough time fielding passes in the early going. And Providence, they're a team that can pounce on miscues like that. Greenway has an opening. Touch 3. No good, but Grace Counts is there for the putback. Addi Mack lost it momentarily. Looking to get the Redhawks on the board. Griefenhagen through the hole and in. She had both Count sisters on her. That is a tall wall to face. Brooke Honecker, her 3 is long. Emma Millerburn picks it up. Hope counts. Tried the turnaround move, no good. Dead ball rebound to the Redhawks. Sine Hill, daughter of PJ, who is part of the first family of basketball. Lost the handle there, so a turnover on Minnehaha Academy. The first family, I mentioned that because the family includes Tanisha, PJ, Tanisha Scott, I should say, Taylor Hill, Monique, the matriarch, Morgan, Jade, who's playing at St. Thomas. Maddyn Greenway tried the bounce pass. Lost it, but Providence got a deflection for a steal of their own. And they'll hang on to it with 14:35 left in the first half. 9-2 the score. Providence looking to make it 9 straight wins and hold on to that #1 spot in the 2A rankings. But talking with both coaches and everyone else ahead of time, those rankings don't mean a thing for a game like this. Matt Pryor was here last week to scout the Providence-Becker game. Minnehaha will play both teams again with Providence in February, and they'll also face Becker in February. Not too keen on coming here, because last year the two teams split. They traded runaway wins at their home venue. Providence won big here, Minnehaha won big at their place. Heads up play by Addi Mack. Ava Cupido for 3. No good. Remember, you can bounce it off anyone. Grace counts. The kick out to Kira Miller for 3. Short. You can bounce it off anyone in the field of play. Sine Hill misses the layup. That's a bucket Minnehaha wanted to have, but they'll get another chance after Ava Cupido takes the ball. But where can the Redhawks find some offense? And you have to be mindful of that Viper-like strike of Maddyn Greenway. We mentioned speed, quickness, intellect, shooting touch. She has a wonderful combination of skills. So you can't leave any pass hanging in her direction.
or she just might snipe it away. Addi Mack drains the runner. Five 30-point games. And she'll probably pick up a few more. Give and go play. Milliburn and Hope Counts. Emma lost control of the ball as she tried to receive the pass. And the Redhawks get a couple of breaks here, 9-4 the score. And you know this, in this sport, it's all about weathering adversity. Addi Mack draws the foul. Emma Milliburn with her first personal foul. Hill on Greenway. The two didn't face each other last year because Sine was playing for Minneapolis Southwest. Griefenhagen didn't spot Kira Miller, and Kira gets the dime, and the fast break bucket belongs to Emma Milliburn. Providence with the edge in momentum plays, but Addi Mack, you talk about speed and quickness, Addi has plenty of that, as we've seen throughout her varsity career. Quick enough to draw a lot of fouls on takes. Mack lost the handle. Grace Counts finds Maddyn Greenway. She's all alone. Goodbye. Lions up 13-4. There are a lot of late conference rivalries that generate the level of interest this one does. Addi Mack walked, but talking with Matt Pryor last week, and Connor Getz would say the same thing. There's a lot of respect between the two, but Matt noted how this rivalry has put a spotlight on small school hoops. These are a pair of 2A schools. But the pedigree they have brought speaks volumes. As Anaya Rubin gets the stop, she'll shoot two. Anaya Rubin, one of three triplets, the daughter of 1988 Mr. Basketball, Derek Rubin. You might recall from his time at Minneapolis North. And if you want a sense of his capabilities as a player, the 1988 Twin Cities game is available to watch on YouTube between North and St. Paul Central. Anaya Rubin averaging about 5 points per game, known more for her defense historically. But she can get in there and contribute offensively as well. 5.1 points, 3.4 rebounds per game. Gets a split at the line there. And it's 13-5. 11:44 to go. Greenway, touch pass to Grace Counts. The kick back out. Honecker from the key, drills the three. And all five of Providence Academy starters have scored. Mack sees a lane, attacks, and does what she does so well. If Minnehaha can get her going, that will create a plethora of possibilities. Grace Counts used up the extra step. And the Redhawks get another stop. Addi to Eva Cupido. The two have traded clutch buzzer beaters, or I shouldn't say traded, but they both have displayed them as Providence draws the foul after winning the scrum for the loose ball. Addi Mack hit a buzzer beater 3 to force overtime with Lakeville South. A game the Red Hawks eventually won to claim the Hill Murray tournament. And Ava Cupido hit a buzzer beater 3 to win bronze in last year's 2A state tournament. Greenway steps into the 3, off the heel. Addi attacks again. I think Grace got a piece of it. Maddyn, warp speed to the bucket, and she'll drain the runner. Maddyn has that lightning fast speed and tissue soft touch. Cupido. Bit of a stutter step, finds Rubin along the baseline. Minnehaha swings it around. Sine Hill for 3. Yes! Timeout. Minnehaha, 9:54 left in the first half. 18-10 the score. Providence off to the quick start. And for Providence, that can be dangerous for opponents. Remember, against Mountain Iron Buell, it was back and forth until Providence turned it into a runaway, a 34-point victory, which again speaks to their depth. Sine Hill, who knocked down the three-pointer, also plays volleyball and track at Minnehaha, calls herself an animal lover, and aspires to be a marine biologist. So she's already got her career plans figured out. I'm sure her father and stepmother officially, but unofficially, her mother Mandy, PJ and Mandy, they've welcomed her into the fold. I mentioned this at the Lakeville South game for NSPN, but what an amazing story. The bond that Sine has developed with PJ and Mandy. As Providence Academy, Maddyn Greenway throws a pass. He doesn't commit a lot of turnovers, but Issa Griefenhagen comes up with the pick there. Emma Millerburn picks the pocket of Griefenhagen. And then Addi Mack almost had a steal using her torso. Usually you don't get torso blocks, but they'll take it. Addi did step on the baseline, so it's still Providence ball. Greenway changes directions, this time misses the drive. Rubin. Ava Cupido, the turnaround. That's always a tough shot to get in. Greenway one-on-one. Comes up short on the drive, and Cupido had not established herself in the field of play. Again, Minnehaha playing shorthanded with injuries and illnesses. Here at the Count sisters, Grace and Hope. Grace missing the 3. Anaya Rubin launches one, and it's off the heel. There might be some nerves or agitation between these two. They know it's a big game. Providence works their way inside this time, and Hope Counts converts for her first field goal. But we might be seeing a little restlessness out of these two. They know it's a big game. They know it's the first of 2, possibly 3 meetings. And everyone knows what's at stake, not just conference pride, but potential state tournament seeding. Sine Hill almost leaked underneath. Addi Mack turns a nearly broken possession into another take. And she does that oh so well. Honecker, 3-ball, corner pocket. She was running a quick set with Greenway, and Maddyn will add an assist. Brooke has stepped up before in big games. She did against Becker last week. Not the most prolific, but one of those reliable role players that we talked about. Rubin, muscling her way inside, can't flip it in. Ball is tipped to Sine Hill, and she draws the foul. Sine Hill to the line. As we mentioned, an aspiring marine biologist. She averages 8.5 points per game, 7.1 rebounds. But she blinks at the line. .653 left in the first half, 23-12 the score in favor of Providence. Hope Counts wasn't in position that time. And if you look at this rivalry going back the last several years, the two sides are dead even. The Redhawks and Lions have split as Addi Mack fires the turnaround three. Nothing but the bottom of the net. In the words of Dan Patrick. These two have traded wins over the last 3 years. Kira Miller, no good on the take, gets her own miss. Hope Counts is there for a three-point play chance. Hope Counts, averaging 8.2 points, 7.8 rebounds per game, leads the team in blocks, had 7 in a game earlier this year against Watertown Mare. And if you weren't there, the Watertown Mare broadcaster responded to one of them saying, "Oh God, how demoralizing." 26-15, I don't think the Redhawks will be demoralized at this juncture. Addi Mack, wubba, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa! What a reverse! Honecker with the answer, not that time. Mack with the rebound. Opportunity for the Redhawks here to pick up some momentum. Mack, the bounce pass to Hill. Redhawks will run a set. That's Cameron Thorough. In a bit of trouble. Ari Peterson with the poke, the steal. Maddyn Greenway will shoot two. And as Maddyn goes to the line, I'd like to note that today, January 12th, is her father's birthday. So happy birthday, Maddyn's dad, who I think will be watching a certain game on Sunday afternoon. Maddyn Greenway knocks down the front end. The oldest of the Greenway sisters, Mads, Matters, or Sturdy are her nicknames. Sturdy might be an understatement. Also takes up soccer and track. You might recall, during the soccer season, she led the state in goals and blew away the competition in that category, helping Providence reach their first state tournament ever. They ended up winning bronze. Cupido for three. Short. Hope counts. Up, no good. Cupido in trouble. Minnehaha got the timeout call in.
Timeout.
28-17, 4:56 left in the first half. And Addi Mack doing her part, but not a lot of support right now, and that's the difference in this game offensively. Maddyn Greenway and Addi Mack are leading the team in scoring. That doesn't surprise you, most likely, but the big difference are the secondary contributors. Hope counts as 7, Brooke Honecker has 6 for the Lions. Ava Cupido hasn't found her stroke yet. Ruben hasn't scored yet either, but a lot can happen. And remember, the Redhawks shorthanded. Matt was telling me there were some folks who were wondering if he might be going too hard at practice. He mentioned, I've had to scale things back to try to keep players in one piece. They'll get a break. They'll have about a week off, and then they'll get, I don't want to say an easier game, but their next game is at Buffalo. And then Duluth Marshall. Now Duluth Marshall has a couple of young guns to keep an eye on, but they're still working their way back up after the wonder that was Gianna Neepkins, who is lighting it up at Utah now. Addi Mack surveying the field. Ruben will shoot 2, and she really wanted that layup to go in. But Minnehaha, they have some other high-caliber opponents. January 26th, they host Mayor Lutheran, the Crusaders, the current #1 team in Class A. And they rescheduled their meeting with Becker to February 13th. We'll be up there for that one. Ruben having some trouble at the free throw line. And while it's not the only difference in this game, the Redhawks struggling at the charity stripe. Providence has yet to miss. And even though it's early, those points can add up over time. Redhawks 1 of 6, Providence 5 of 5. Greenway lost the handle. And then is called for the foul, grabbing Addi there. Maddyn did foul out in one of the 2 meetings last year. Cupido to Ruben. Drew a lot of traffic in the paint. Here comes Addi, slicing her way through. Redhawks continue to swing the ball around. Hope counts with a swat. Demoralizing, maybe for Ava Cupido. For someone like me, not so much. I love it when players make big plays, offense or defense. I'm here for all the blocks, all the points. Ava Cupido's baseline J comes up strong. Ari Peterson to Maddyn Greenway, puts on the brakes. Peterson, rebound, and the flip. Ari Peterson gets on the board. Addi for 3. Here's a chance for the Lions to go up big. Ari Peterson, she wants in. No three-pointer there. Mack to Cupido. Ruben left alone, and that went off of the support strap. Dead ball rebound to the Lions. And again, Ruben is someone on the scouting report you might leave open a little more than Addi. You're going to make Anaya prove that she can knock down shots the way Mack or Cupido can. Hope Counts, turnaround, 15-footer, no good. Grace Counts is there and draws the foul. Grace Counts can make dead-on bird noises. She demonstrated that to me before the game. Bowling, painting, and hiking are some of her other interests. Michelle Saturnino, her friend and spiritual guide, is someone she looks up to. Providence, a perfect 7 of 7. Mack. Rubin has it again. Cameron Thorough. Minnehaha was trying to line something up in the corner. Addi Mack will reset things. 2:20 to go. Bounce pass outside of Rubin's reach. Maddyn Greenway has 11 points, but her pocket has been picked a couple of times, and that leads to a fast break layup for Addi Mack. But again, Providence has excelled with the supporting cast. Grace Counts scores the touch layup from her sister Hope. Rubin has yet to get a 3 to drop. Lions up by 15. And a foul is called. .111 left. And a tough first half for the Redhawks. Addi Mack finding no trouble at all, leaving an impact, but her teammates struggling to follow suit, and that could be problematic. She'll line up a 3. Can't get the bounce. Milliburn with the board. Less than a minute. Here's a 3 for Honecker, pure. Providence getting help from just about everybody. Ava Cupido still scoreless. Straight up block by Griefenhagen on Maddyn Greenway. Not easy to do on the run. Addi Mack loses Grace Counts. That could be a momentum-turning play for the Redhawks, but there's still time. 5 seconds. Greenway, she's got range. Can't hit it there. But overall, a strong first half from Providence Academy, getting help all around. They lead Minnehaha Academy 37-21 at intermission. And with several players stepping up, Minnehaha has their work cut out for them. Providence's depth making a difference in this game. But we still have 18 more minutes to play, and we'll see who comes out on top in the first of 2 meetings between 2 IMAC rivals. You're watching high school girls basketball.
Twin Cities sports broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSP Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Tough shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSP Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Halftime almost done at Providence Academy, but the band is far from done. They have been serenading the audience here throughout this one. Providence Academy with a lot to serenade in the first half. They lead 37-21. First half numbers, Maddyn Greenway has 11 points, Brooke Honecker is 9, Hope Counts is 7, Grace Counts was 6. Minnehaha, Addi Mack has 15 points. Only 3 Redhawks have scored, and I think you can figure out how many points the rest of the team has outside of Addi. And notably, Ava Cupido and Anaya Rubin have yet to hit a shot. That's going to have to change if Minnehaha wants to take a victory in the first meeting of the IMAC rivalry. Providence and Minnehaha. Again, the Redhawks shorthanded due to injuries to a couple of their players and an illness in the case of Amina Allen. That puts a bit of a disclaimer. But again, with this conference series, you play each other twice. And we know the Redhawks have the talent. Addi Mack scores on another take. That is one of her go-tos that she has crafted oh so smoothly over the years. Long pass, intercepted by Mack. One-on-one with Greenway. Extra pass to Hill. Maddyn Greenway read it for the swipe. Big block by the 5'6" freshman. Grace Counts misses the baseline jumper. We're used to seeing that out of Hope Counts. Here comes Addi Mack, this time a shovel pass to Sine Hill, who drains the corner 3. Hill has a couple of those threes. And like we said, this game far from done. Hope Counts with Rubin on her. Hope had the height advantage. And Providence Academy will take a timeout. The band is done for the evening, but certainly happy to have them. Plenty of space now on the student section if you want to sneak your way in. ITs. 16:55 left in the second half, and a few more tidbits we'd like to share from the senior class. Bridget Healy, one of the Healy sisters, Anne Marie, of course, a state champion in basketball and track. Best advice she ever received: don't sweat the petty stuff, don't pet the sweaty stuff. That's good advice. I think I will heed that myself. Who inspires you? Deadlines. That's a good one, especially in my industry. Starbucks and hype music are her pregame rituals. She and Grace Counts also fans of Celsius. Here's Addi Mack. Her 3 goes off the back iron, and Sine Hill got the tip. Brooke Honecker tried to retrieve the ball, and in doing so ends up touching it last. So it's going to be Minnehaha ball. Addi Mack had trouble. Rubin chases it down, keeps the possession alive. Mack again. Greenway. Give and go with Hope and Grace. And it's Hope who goes in for 2. And an inbound violation on Minnehaha. That's going to hand the ball right back to Providence. Greenway for three. Griefenhagen had a lot of coverage for that rebound. Sine Hill is fouled by Greenway. She'll shoot three. Just the second on Greenway. And Minnehaha has had some trouble converting free throws here. But not that time. Sine, I mention this all the time. I cover a Minnehaha game, and I'll say it again because I'm sure Sine will never let her two older aunts forget this. She beat them a couple years ago during the high school season when she was at Washburn and Jade and Angel were playing at Minneapolis South. They split the season series. And that's going to be a foul on Cupido. Miller burned to the line. And to finish up that story, that meant Sine got to beat, as a 7th grader, an outgoing senior in Jade Hill is at St. Thomas, and Angel, who then transferred to Minnehaha. So Sine can't beat her anymore, at least not officially. Miller burned to the line. Providence has excelled at the line thus far. Mima is her nickname. Being on the lake, a hobby for the 8th grader. I'll stick to Emma. I don't know if I've earned the right to call her Mimi yet, but Providence continues their hot streak from the free throw line, 9 of 9. And they lead by 15. Sine Hill almost threw it away. Hope counts. Stepped on the baseline. Addi Mack joining the 2,000-point club in 91 games. It took her 49 to get her first 1,000 points, and if you didn't have a COVID-shortened season, as Rubin fires the three and connects, Addi would probably have a few more points to her figure. Greenway fakes the three, was looking for Hope counts. Addi Mack with the steal and the finish. Another patented coast-to-coast drive. And now it's a 10-point game. Let's see if Minnehaha's onto something. Here's Maddyn Greenway. Deep three is pure. Maddyn has worked on her range over the last year and change. Rubin again. Not that time. Greenway momentarily impeded. Almost got it to drop. But now it's the Redhawks on the run. Extra pass. Hope counts with another block. Hope counts a tremendous amount of growth between last year and this year. But she finds herself in trouble again and ends up throwing it away. Cupido looked a bit indecisive there. Maddyn Greenway gets a step on everybody. And anytime she does, it's money. The lead is 15 again, 48-33, 13:58 left in the second half. And the Redhawks with 2 timeouts remaining. Maddyn Greenway came on the scene in a big way as a 7th grader, set all kinds of season records at the school, and has only added to them since. Reached 1,000 points last year, doing so in 46 games. She can also dance. And Connor Getz says she has control over the game that makes it seem like others around her are playing in sand. That would be me. Now, it wouldn't be sand in my case. It would be more like quicksand. I would sink to the bottom. But Maddyn already has offers from several Big Ten schools and a few others. She will have the lion's share of colleges to choose from, whether she takes up soccer, basketball, or track. She plays like a virtuoso in all three. Six games with 30 points or more. And again, leading the state in scoring. She was up there last year. And that's not what you want on an ATO play. Hope counts at the high post. Goes up against a double team. Grace Counts is there for the offensive rebound. Greenway, not that time. See if the Redhawks can get a few possessions to go in their favor. They got it within 10 a moment ago, and it looked like they found a lifeline. Addi Mack left alone, bullseye. And she's up to 22. Counts, coughs it up. And I still find this fascinating. Mack with 22 points, the rest of the Redhawks with 14, but Sine Hill is starting to chip in some buckets here, and if Cupido can find her stroke, that could go a long way. Rubin in trouble. There's Cupido, but she's guarded heavily. Went for the pull-up J, and it rimmed out. Greenway slipped up. Millerburn sneaks open underneath, goes for the kick out to Honecker instead. And a foul as Rubin takes a hard hit. Rubin had the tip for the ball first. And that's the third foul on Millerburn, the only player in any kind of foul trouble right now. That could change with 12:12 to go. And Minnehaha playing shorthanded, win or lose. Some of these role players will get valuable minutes that could help them move forward. As Sine Hill got bumped, wanted the foul call. And Matt Pryor gets a warning from the officials. Now he and Connor Getz, they're going to stand for their teams. They'll stand up for them. We've seen that over the years. Greenway, touch three. Off the back iron, Emma Millerburn wins the battle. Grace Counts can't get the bounce. Kira Miller with the fadeaway. An acrobatic way to get on the board. And Kira Miller more flexible than she looks. She can do the splits. Addi Mack can split a few threes through your eye hole. A much-needed tray. Millerburn swatted away by Mack. Mack and Greenway about the same height, 5'6". But they're playing a lot bigger tonight. Always a treat, always a joy to see these two of the younger faces. Not so young anymore. Compared to when I first saw them, that is. Miller takes the skip pass, has nowhere to go. She'll kick out to Greenway for three. Bullseye! Maddyn with 19. Addi Mack. Dead ball rebound to the Lions. Milliburn will run the set this time. Grace Counts was looking for the interior penetration. Greenway will reset. Miller goes in after Sine Hill tried to disrupt her. Couple of layups for Kira Miller. I talked to her for a while beforehand. She said, I'm not the same player that I was as a freshman, having to sit out 2 years due to injury and missing the start of the season due to a concussion. But she's still hoping to make something out of it. And Ava Cupido finally gets on the board, sinking a runner in the lane. Could that awaken the 8th grader and the Red Hawks offense? We shall see. Poked by Mack, and Addi, I think, trying to plead her case that it was not a poke on her part. I could see it from here. Greenway biding her time. And then making her move. She's got 21. Hill off the shovel pass. Rebound goes to Miller. Not out enough to get numbers, but she scores on the hesitation drive. Kira Miller bringing some energetic plays off the bench. Almost had the block, but instead it's a foul. And Isa Griefenhagen, who came over from the White Bear Lake program, will shoot a pair. Isa, one of the many young guns that have permeated Minnehaha and Providence girls basketball over the years. Griefenhagen doesn't score a lot, just 3.6 a game, but she's an 8th grader and has plenty of room for growth. And I feel this is where the absence of folks like Allen and Parton are most notable. Now, there's no telling what might happen as Rubin wins the battle for the rebound. There's no telling how they would have fared had they played. We've seen games where nobody can hit the broadside of a bar. And we've seen games where nothing can go wrong. So there's no real true way of extrapolating who would win if everyone was at full strength. But I think the Red Hawks are going to learn quite a bit. Addi Mack, once again, she's sneaky like that, able to get inbounds off of players if she can't find a passing target. Like we said, if you can establish yourself in time, you can bounce the ball off anybody. But right now, Providence looks unfazed. Greenway again. Couldn't save it, but Sine Hill was closest to the ball, so even if Greenway had gotten there in time, there was no one there to help. Pretty minor problem, though, amidst a solid game for the Lions. Addi Mack off the screen, gets a step on Hope Counts, and that's one way a 5'6" guard can beat a 6'2" forward. Addi doing what she can to keep Minnehaha Academy in contention. Hope Counts missed the three. She can hit them. And there's Greenway almost getting another steal in open space. Instead, Sine Hill gets a chance at a three. Kira Miller with the rebound. Jump ball, Providence with the arrow. I believe that's the first jump ball we've had in this game. 6:59 to go. Providence hasn't been tested yet, but like we said, these two, over the last several years, have traded wins and losses. They have split in each of the last 3 years. And it's quite remarkable, but one of many reasons why this rivalry just might be the best one. We hype up the late conference matchups, especially with Hopkins and schools like Minnetonka. Well, that game on January 20th will be a big one. St. Michael Aberville as Cupido can't bank in the three. But Hopkins has dominated their late conference brethren. With this rivalry, you really don't know what's going to happen. Both teams traded runaway wins last year. And we could see the same thing again this year. But there is a sense of parity that you don't necessarily witness in the late conference. And not to say that the late conference is having a down year or anything like that. There are some high-level athletes all around, but it's a little different story here. Maddyn Greenway missing the front end. A rare miss, and I mean rare. She doesn't miss often at the free throw line. Doesn't miss often, period. But it's a 17-point lead for the Lions. Addi Mack drawing coverage. Greenway on top of her. We're going to get a few more matchups with those 2 point guards. Addi Mack. Ava Cupido was right there underneath to lay it in, and Minnehaha's going to call a timeout. They'll have one remaining. And with that, it's 60-45 with 5:50 to go. Ava Cupido, another instant impact kind of player. Public address announcer having a little fun with our birthday man, Mr. Greenway. I don't think he wants to be any older than he is. I'm not that far behind him. I've got a few years, but it comes up on you. Ava Cupido, by the way, who got the putback layup, also takes up soccer. Her ability to handle a ball and create space on the drive is one of her strengths. She had a terrific AAU season with 43 hoops last year, moving to a new club this year. But her confidence really took off when she hit that buzzer beater to win bronze as a 7th grader. At Minnehaha and Providence, we've said this multiple times, they're not afraid to embrace the youth movement. Maddyn was that's all, folks. Maddyn was an instant impact athlete as a 7th grader. Addi Mack was at Blake before she moved to Minnehaha. Speaking of, gets the poke on Peterson and draws a late foul on Greenway. An aggressive move. I didn't think she had anywhere to go. But that does stop the clock with 5:34, and that gives Addi Mack the chance to score and catch her breath. Addi Mack enjoys swimming and golfing outside of basketball and has taken up interest in the stock market. Not a lot of youngsters, but that is an interest if you're a mathematician or you like a lot of speculation and predictions, so that's a place to be. Addi Mack makes both free throws, and a blocking foul is called on Cupido. Minnehaha still with several to give here with 5:23 on the clock. Just the second on Cupido. By the way, Addi Mack up to 29 points. But I think the story of the game is the lack of support. The ratio has improved a little bit, but Addi still has more points by herself than the rest of the team does. Hope Counts, takes some contact underneath, gives a thumbs up to the trainer as they wipe up a wet spot. And she may have taken a hit to the face, maybe a bloody nose. Earlier this season, Addi Mack had to get stitched up, and Lydia Laakkonen as well. They took a couple of hits to the chin. Addi took one at the Lakeville South game at Hill Murray, and Hope is going to have to go to the bench. So Kira Miller will shoot these free throws, with Hope Counts having to get her nose plugged up. Miller hasn't figured out her college plans yet, but she wants to major in sports psychology and got quite a behind-the-scenes experience over the last couple of years. She helps run the book. She was a student manager for girls soccer and picked up a lot of coaching tidbits. But quite happy to get back out on the court this year and finally play after they timed this over 1,000 days. Sine Hill gets a step and will shoot two. And as heated as the games are, there is a sense of respect in this rivalry. I make my rounds, of course, here and talking with Matt Pryor and Connor Getz in Matt's case, and I'm sure Connor would do the same. Matt was wishing several of the Providence players good luck. They'll never let the rivalry take away the respect they have for all the players that make it what it is. Split at the line for the Red Hawks. Miller gets another rebound. Brooke Honecker, three-ball corner pocket. Brooke taking care of three-point duties. Addi Mack will shoot two more.
Fouls on the line is number 3, Addi Mack, 2.
And with that, Addi has her 6th 30-point game this season. She burst on the scene, leading the Blake Bears in scoring as a 7th grader, and she has led the team, whether it was Blake or Minnehaha, in scoring every year since. Kickball. Providence still up big here, 65-50. Just a lot of back and forth. Miller. A little too short there on the pass. Addi Mack goes behind the back, and I believe that layup was deflected by Greenway. 4:08 left. Cupido missed the three, and that's going to be a foul on Griefenhagen, reaching over Kira Miller. You can't bump them like that. And a reminder, if you're watching this on the TSB Television YouTube channel, we will be with you again on Monday to see this Providence Academy team. Sine Hill with the poke. Addi Mack left it short. Greenway was in the vicinity, and I wonder if that altered her plan of attack. Extra pass to Kira Miller, but I think if she had gone up for it right away, I think that's a layup. Miller still scrapping. And it's Minnehaha ball, but not for lack of hustle on Kira Miller's part. I think if Miller had gone up right away, instead of making that extra dribble, I think she gets a layup there. But I would call her the X factor of this game. Rubin on the spin cycle. Extra rinse. But do the Red Hawks have enough time? 3:13 to go. They still trail by 13. And no shot clock, so Providence could work it here. Grace Counts draws the foul. That is the last to give for the Red Hawks with 3:05 to go. And remember, Providence loaded with sharpshooters, 12 of 13 at the line. Grace Counts, what a fake, what a move. Fake the handoff to Greenway to take it in herself. I've always said this about the Count sisters, Grace, Hope, and Maria. They may not wow you with their speed or their agility, but their intellect and their sturdiness. High value traits. Addi Mack cut off on the attack there. Greenway tried to squeeze through the hole, couldn't quite do so. And Providence, from the looks of it, will earn their 9th straight win. And their next game against another contender in St. Croix Lutheran. Maddyn Greenway steps into the three, knocks it down. 25. So no 30-point game tonight for Greenway, not that she needed it. And Anaya Rubin scores again down low, off the feet from Mack. So Rubin getting herself a couple of nice plays, but it won't be enough for the Red Hawks. Miller resetting. And Grace Counts will go to the line for 1-1. Grace Counts, as we noted, one of many legacy families here at Providence Academy. With the Counts, all 6 of them, there's a 10-year-old. I presume he'll attend school here, but they've all been welcome members of the student body. By the way, Grace's pregame ritual, we mentioned she's a Celsius enthusiast. Eat some sweet tarts and listen to music. Sweet tart ropes, that is. Addi Mack will have another fine performance. Isa Griefenhagen, bullseye. Addi Mack playing facilitator as of late. Minnehaha will call a timeout, but with a 14-point deficit and 1:28 to go, I just don't know if there's enough time. One positive, Minnehaha did get some support offensively for Mack. I just don't know if they had enough of it. And again, when you consider the absences, Barrett Parton, a strong role player. She's going to Iowa to play soccer. Amina Allen, who's averaging 11 a game. That would change the dynamic. And Matt has said, we have gone through just about everything. I can't wait to have a healthy roster, which is the goal as they make their way toward February, the final full month of the season for Providence. You look at the rest of their schedule, it's conceivable that they could run the table. That's not to say it's a shoo-in. Bear Lutheran, the top team in Class A, they could pose a challenge. Mountain Iron Buell did, and then the wheels came off. Hill Murray, that should be a winnable one. Hopkins, they're here tonight to scout. That could be a game that Providence doesn't win. But they do have the depth to at least make it a fight. St. Peter having a strong few years in 3A. And yeah, I think they could easily be favorites in most, if not all, the remaining games outside of Hopkins. Does that mean they're going to win them all? I can't tell you that. But they are the standard bearer. Ava Cupido, step back J, no good. Providence, the standard bearer, they've been working their way up. 2019 and the 2020 season, they got a split with Minnehaha, and we'll never know how they would have fared in 2A, but if you remember, the Count sisters and Kira Miller, architects of an upset win over Sauk Center. And then the state tournament was canceled due to you-know-what. The following year, the Lions take silver against Albany. Addi Mack, all three of those, 34 points. And a reminder of the leader that paces this Red Hawks team. Unfortunately, the Red Hawks were out of timeout, so they can't stop the clock anymore. Addi Mack again, not that time. Sine Hill missed on the putback, and that'll be a wrap. Providence pulls ahead in the first half, and they keep Minnehaha at bay, 71-60 to final. Plenty of support all around for the Lions. Paced by 25 from Maddyn Greenway, 12 from Brooke Honecker, 4 3-pointers. The Count sisters, Kira Miller, they all stepped up. For Minnehaha, another great game for Addi Mack, but I'm sure she can't wait to have her fellow teammates available in the second meeting. We'll talk to some of the Providence players before we call it a night. You're watching high school girls basketball. Providence Academy wins their 9th straight, beating Minnehaha Academy 71-60.
Joining me are Maddyn Greenway, Brooke Honecker, and Kira Miller from Providence. Maddyn, we'll start with you. A quiet 25 points, if you can call it that, but This rivalry, it's always a big deal when Providence and Minnehaha meet. You set the tone early and kept Minnehaha at bay. How important was it to get on that quick start?
We know last time we played them, or the first time last year, they kind of got out on us and used their pressure, so we kind of want to do the same thing and know that, this is a big game for us, but we're coming out not scared, not nervous or anything. So that was big, kind of, take them aback and just kind of get out to an earlier start because we know that they can come back. So, yeah, get out and just get going early.
This is your third year experiencing this rivalry, and in that time, the two schools are usually in the state tournament, in the conversation. How cool is it to get this kind of atmosphere? You got the band, you get a sizable crowd, and a lot of folks circle this game on the calendar for you to be a part of it. How cool is it?
It's so cool. This rivalry is so good. We know a lot of girls on the other team play against them, AAU high school, so it's just so fun to be a part of this, and it's a good rivalry, and yeah, like you said, both teams are really good, so it's just always fun every year, and yeah, we circle it too because it's always, a game we want to get, so.
And of course, your father celebrating his birthday today. I think the scores table got his age off by a few years. I think they were having a little fun there. So was that part of your plan today, to give him a gift of victory?
Yeah, this is the only gift I got him, so.
The only gift? Wow. Well, I hope you don't take any offense, Chad. A victory is all you're going to get. No. He's actually been quite
a lot of pleasant presents, so.
Well, and he's been highly supportive of women's sports over the years, so he's given us a lot of gifts in terms of his investment. But I think he'll take this 25-point gift of yours.
Yep, I think he will too.
Brooke, all of your scoring came from the three-point line tonight, and we know in the past you don't always score a ton, but in big games like this or Becker, you find ways to step up. Those 4 threes came at pretty clutch times tonight. What has gone into your stroke over the years?
I feel like obviously just working on my shot and improving it, technique, things like that, but also I feel like just for the game sense, just repetition or getting the open look or finding my shot when need be, like you said, it was at key points, and I just knew that sometimes I look for the great shot, not the good shot, so it's knowing when to shoot it and when to pass it in, or if I'm open, just find my shot like that.
And how do you think that helped keep Minnehaha at bay? Because there were a couple of points where it looked like they might find an opening, a pathway, and then yourself and the others shut the door.
Yeah, I feel just with everyone, we were all doing so well of getting open and getting the good shot, but I feel with me knocking down those threes, it just kind of created I don't know, a good tone for all of us girls, because whenever we all shoot or make a good shot, we all get so hyped, so just I don't know, getting pumped up, do you know what I mean? And I don't know, just being able to, yeah.
Now, have you picked up any tips on getting that range the way Maddyn? Because I think you hit one from about the volleyball line. Are you working on that, Brooke?
I am working on that, so maybe next game you'll see a few.
We're going to have a 3-point distance shootout. Forget horse, it's going to be who can shoot the farthest, right?
I'm down.
Well, and Kira, we know you can knock down threes as well. I won't ask you to do the splits up here in the bleachers. It might be a tough spot, but I would call you the X factor tonight. You had 8 points, and maybe you could have had a couple more, but that's a first world problem. You were getting after it on rebounds, hustling, grinding. I know you talked about how exciting it was for you to get back out there. But how did you feel going in amongst the trees and coming up with a few boards?
It's always a good feeling to get a board. So I just it's been a goal of mine to get more rebounds. So just getting after it.
And you were telling me beforehand, you were counting the days. It was over 1,000 between your freshman season and getting back to the floor this year. That is a lot of days and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, to use the saying. But to come in, and I know you said you're not where you want to be yet, but to get back out there and prove your mettle again, how gratifying is it after sitting for 1,000 days without being able to suit up and go out there?
It just feels good. It's nice, and I know that my teammates trust me, so that also helps give me confidence. So whenever we're working together and I look to get my few points in, it's always nice, and just really knowing that my teammates have my back is probably one of the biggest things.
And the last time we talked to you in a post game, you were the freshman coming off a big first game of the year. I think you led the team in scoring that time, and now you're the senior. Maybe you don't have as many points as some of your teammates, but you've grown a lot, learned a lot, and I imagine that wisdom has paid a lot of dividends. How would you say you've grown as an athlete and as a person from when we first saw you as a freshman all those years ago to what you're doing now?
Well, firstly, I'm more confident and not scared, but my role has also changed. So I'm now more of a leader with age, and being vocal is probably one of the best things I can do, and that's just what I kind of find when I find my niche, communicating with others.
I think that confidence was apparent in all those takes you went in tonight, a couple of coast-to-coast plays. You're a little deceptive there. Like you were telling me you're more flexible than you look. I think you have a stronger attacking stance than you might give off too.
Well, thank you.
Well, this is why they play and I just stay up here and do all the narration. Before we wrap things up, you want to say hi to anybody?
My dad, mom, and Dr. Bolt.
Dr. Bolt, okay.
I'd say my parents, siblings, and my grandma because she watches all my games, and my grandparents. Yep.
And what about you?
Just all my family, my sisters, my mom, my grandpa who's watching from Milwaukee. So, yeah.
Well, we appreciate all of the viewers who make our coverage possible, and another fine win. Go rest up this weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Maddyn Greenway, Brooke Honecker, and Kira Miller. That wraps up our coverage here from Providence Academy in Plymouth. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Maddyn. Thanks for watching.